Thank you so much, Chair. Allow me to firstly express my dissatisfaction and in the manner in which this matter is being dealt with. First and foremost, when the news broke on the 6th of July, I think on the 7th of July, there was robust engagement from the Portfolio Committee members for us to convene an urgent sitting, which was obviously ignored, and today we get told about time constraints. There's been media briefings. There's the letter from the speaker saying that the 3 committees needs to sit, which we are now being told it's not 3, it's 2. So I'm also not clear on that. Where's the other committees that are secret committees? It's silent. We are now being told about the legal opinion. And for me, honestly, I'm not sure if I'm the only person in this room, but the legal opinion almost feels totally disconnected to the actual matters that we are supposed to be discussing. The legal opinion this morning almost tells us and just reaffirms our mandate in terms of what we are and what we are not allowed to do. We are here to represent the people of South Africa. This is why we are here. And I think we would have wanted more guidance in terms of the outcome, the findings of the allegations that has been made, which are concrete. So much time has lapsed since these allegations, and today we are given a presentation filled with nothing. Skepticism, the chairperson, the person that presented said there's skepticism in the Commission of Inquiry. I think, yes, that is true, because we've had many previous commissions of inquiries, and even though some of them has findings, there's no actions. I think if you can give us just 3 or 4 of these commission of inquiries where there was actually a finding, where action was taken against those involved, that would be appreciated. And I think that would also just sort of reaffirm the trust of South Africans. I'm also concerned here today, why isn't SAPS here? I would have loved to see, and again, Chair, it goes back to so much has happened, but nothing has happened. Had we sat earlier, maybe we as the Portfolio Committee would have had then an opportunity to engage with the executive, and that hasn't happened. I think I'll leave it at that. I have other questions, but I think this just specifically now relates to the presentation that I really don't understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Mwela. Honourable Trollip.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. I won't repeat what's been said, but I do want to say that in the Speaker's original recommendation about how this matter should be dealt with, she said we should avoid duplication. I would venture that there is already duplication with the JSCI dealing with this separately. Triplication, in fact, with the Commission of Inquiry taking place. And that is always a red flag when too many people are doing the same thing in different directions. Then with regard to the legal opinion, as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't a legal opinion. It was just reading some parliamentary rules to us that we are aware of. And then also the presenter presented some things that this committee should be looking at, or this joint committee. Cherry-picked some things that he described as low-hanging fruits. This is not our responsibility to pick low-hanging fruit. Our responsibility is to get to the truth of the allegations made in public by General Mkhwanazi. And then lastly, for fear of repeating some of the stuff that's just been said, there is a Judicial Commission of Inquiry. It's been appointed by the President. It's taking shape. It's going to take shape over the next 6 to 12 months, which is ridiculous as far as we're concerned. And then the presenter seemed to assume that we were going to accept that this was going to be the third option, which is the 2 committees working in tandem because there are common issues of concern. No. We want the most effective, most efficient way in Parliament to get to the bottom of this so that we can stop the rot in the police services. We can't wait 12 months with more people dying on the streets and more people helping themselves through nepotism and corruption in the police services. So I believe this committee should be making a decision, and that is why we wrote to the Speaker and asked the Speaker for a full-blown parliamentary debate, which would have informed her what the most effective and efficient way was to deal with this matter. At the moment, we're wasting time, and we're not going to get to the bottom of it if this is the so-called legal opinion that we've got. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, Parliament must do what Parliament is established to do, which is to hold the executive, to scrutinize the work of the executive. So when one reads or listens to the legal opinion, it says to me that ourselves as members, because sometimes when we discuss these options, you might think it's other people, but actually it's ourselves. It's what do you want to call yourself? That's what it is. Whether it's an investigative inquiry, it's an ad hoc, it's a joint, it's ourselves. Now you need to then say, all right, how do we want to move? That there will be some kind of a coming together of members of parliament to look at these allegations. It's not what's in question. So that's accepted by the three options. Now, how do you then weigh the three options? It's which of the options arrive at the decision quicker, but still allows the two committees to do the work that they need to do. That's what the question is, effectively. So, I hear my honorable member Miel and honorable Matafa advocating for an ad hoc committee. At least I'm old enough to remember that there was once an ad hoc committee, and Honorable Swarty will remember, that looked into the public protector. It was supposed to be so quick. It lasted over 2 years. It lasted over 2 years. So sometimes when we make these arguments, and one of the reasons that ad hoc committee lasted as long as it has, Honorable Matafa, and that's why, and you please, I'm arguing against it. It's because of legal representation. It's because of legal representation. You know what's the good thing about a joint committee or us in this form is that there's no legal representation. We get to the truth without legal representation. Because let me say, there's a case of the former president of this country. It's been dragging on for 20 years because of legal representation. If you don't want to do anything, have a committee that's got lawyers in here. Everyone will come armed with their lawyers. A so-called witness will be sitting there for 5 days because everyone wants to have their bite. Everyone wants to have their bite. Why is the Senzo Meyiwa trial not concluding? It's because everyone wants to have their bite. Now, does that allow us to get to the bottom of the truth quicker? I'll argue not. I'll argue not. But are the members, so if we were to establish, if we were to call ourselves, because that's what it is, the conversation is, what do we call ourselves? Because it will be us. It will be us. Are we saying, if Mkhwanazi or Minister Mtunu or General Masimula comes here, we don't have the capacity to question them, that we need an evidence leader, we need lawyers? No, it's us. We are here to oversee the executive. Now, the route of the ad hoc takes us into a prolonged process, not a shortened process. Not a shortened process. And the recent issue of the former public protector must at least ring true, at least to some that were here, how long that took. So for me, and you know what's the advantage of having the two committees as option 3 is that the portfolio committees will continue to do their work on these matters. They don't have to pause. So the function of committees in overseeing the executive will continue. But when you go to an ad hoc committee, it's like, but you can't ask me there and ask me there and ask, no. So, and it answers the point that the Honorable Swart made around the need for institutional capability and memory. So there are things that the police portfolio committee members know that the justice don't know. And there are things that you know that we don't know. Because when I look at this, effectively, we are dealing with the NPA, we are dealing with IDEC, which is justice. We are dealing with the police and the task teams involved, which is the police. The best way you can deal with that is to trust these members who are in this room right now to look at these matters. Because sometimes, you know, the thing with ad hoc committee, and this is why I don't like them. I know others enjoy them and so forth, is that some of the people that then get seconded to these ad hoc committees, mostly they go there because of political seniority and how everyone focuses on those committees. Then they get seconded, but they haven't dealt with it. They don't have the institutional knowledge of the issues. Now they go there and play politics, and this thing drags on for 2 years. And so the other reason, Honorable Matafa, that I will not argue for option 2. You are saying in your submission that this ad hoc committee or this committee, and you're supporting ad hoc committee, you are saying it must live on for as long as there's the commission, so that when there are interim reports, this committee looks at it. And I will then argue that the committee that then oversees, Honorable Mike, the committee that then oversees the Judicial Commission is the Justice Portfolio Committee. It's there. It's us. They're here. It's not someone else. So you trust them to deal with it. If there are recommendations from, or in the interim, recommendation that relates to the police, that will then go to the Police Portfolio Committee. I will not advocate that we have a much prolonged period. I would say this joint option 3 must be able to work for the next 3 months. Ask the questions that it needs to ask. If we then need to submit that report to help the Judicial Commission, it can be done. But ours, when all is said and done, it's about keeping the people of South Africa safe. That's what we are after. And to ensure that this mudslinging and the political infighting and the infighting in the police, intelligence, NPA, IDEC comes to an end. That's why we are here. And as I rest, Chair, let's learn from the other ad hoc committees of Parliament, how long they lasted, and what kept them running for so long. Compared to, for instance, the joint committees. So yesterday we presented a report. It was a joint committee of police and agriculture on farm attacks. We were able to move fast. But had that been an ad hoc committee, it will still be sitting right now. It will still be sitting, I tell you. But because it was the joint committee focused, it's not like we're asking to investigate everything. The allegations are there. We know what we're investigating. We even know who are the people to call into the room. General Mkhwanazi, General Masimula, Minister Mkunu, the head of IDEC, the head of NPA, General Kumalo, who was heading the political task team, is now crime intelligence. These are the people that must come and answer questions that South Africans are asking. We are here to represent South Africans. And as I learned, I therefore do not see this being done by an ad hoc committee. Ourselves, jointly as we are, can hold the executive and the officials accountable. I submit.
Thank you, Honorable Ghana. Honorable Adams.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Honorable Ghana, for covering everyone. Chairperson, I think from the offset, the biggest failing of this institution is repetition. And for this reason, the NCC cannot support this ad hoc committee. It's only going to replicate what's supposed to be the work of these people in the sitting right here. But I want to just ask something, say something rather. The initial instruction from our speaker was that police, justice, and intelligence would sit together and investigate this matter and make a determination. Intelligence has been removed from the committee. I'm sure we'll get the answer sooner or later. But if only intelligence were sitting in this meeting, it would be so much easier, because the idea of intelligence has submitted a report into the rot and the corruption in the South African police services to previous Minister Bheki Cele. That report was suppressed. In this year, the IG again sent a report to now suspended Minister Mkunu. I emailed the minister. I asked him to bring that report to the portfolio. He never responded. If intelligence is here, we can ask the Inspector General to produce these reports. It will save us 70% of what we mean to do. I'm not sure if this is a deliberate attempt to slow down our progress or to hide the truth. But surely intelligence must be here. And if it's for security reasons, they are welcome to join us on Zoom with their cameras off so that we can question them. And then I just want to say, you know, so much has been said about General Mkhwanazi and the allegations he made. And I find it very, very suspicious that a full minister is suspended. We can use whatever nice terms we want to. He's suspended. And the Deputy National Commissioner is suspended on the basis of an allegation. But 7 seniors, generals in SAPS, are charged, and they're still at work. And General Mkhwanazi is coming out in defense of these people. He's saying that this is an HR matter. Explain something to me, all of those who love General Mkhwanazi so much. General Lushaba and General Kumalo, they instructed Colonel Mobaso to buy 200 million rands worth of laptops that have never been issued to SAPS. Right across the road here, organized crime is working from cell phones. They don't have laptops. How is this an HR matter? How is it that we're talking about the lie, the alleged lie that Minister Mkunu told the police portfolio regarding his relationship with Brown? But the National Commissioner could lie about the brigadier that they brought from BMW. How is this okay? Why are we targeting certain people as Parliament? We are eulogizing General Mkhwanazi. I, as the complainant in the charges against those 7 generals, when this portfolio called me a madman before they were arrested, I, as the complainant, am connecting the dots. That staged press conference with a general who now seeks additional protection, where what looked like an armed militia behind him, it was a threat to this country. Let us call it what it is. He was trying to incite policemen to take action in the event of whatever it is that he knew was coming. Let me tell this committee what I suspect was coming. As the accounting officer for the South African Police Services, I suspect that the National Commissioner himself is up for arrest. And that press conference was nothing more than a preemptive move and the country appears to have fallen for it. General Mkhwanazi must appear before this committee. The National Commissioner must appear before this committee. The IDAC must appear before this committee. General Kumalo, General Lushabo must come and sit in front of this committee. And I want to appeal and actually ask that we make it a recommendation that every member of this committee that has ever met with any law enforcement or investigative body or given them a statement or had a conversation must come clean and tell us what he said. I will be the first. I know Honorable James had that conversation. I have a suspicion there are a few more other people that are hiding things within this committee. Now, in order to clean out the service, we must all be honest. We can't demand accountability from the boys in blue and hide things right here. I then also want to just say that we've lost many fine police officers because of corruption. I'll mention a few names. General Andre Lincoln, General Vieri, General Theo, General Langweni. And some of us here have lauded these dismissals. But what is the common thread? It's the same corrupt cabal that is now before the court in Joburg. Why are we not talking about this? This thing is much bigger than a press conference called by a Lieutenant General from KZN. The entire top management of the South African Police Services appears to be corrupt. This is the basis of what we need to do. This is what we need to start. I want to just say to Honorable Matthys that I note the complaint that you laid to the Speaker about the chairperson of the Police Committee. I would take it one step further without making a single accusation and ask of the chair, if it's not in the best interest of this committee, this joint committee, that you recuse yourself for the sitting of this process. Because, Chairperson, you did prevent me from going at these generals over the issues I've just mentioned. Even when they lied to the committee, you did not allow me to interrogate. So, not an attack on you, Chairperson. I believe that you are a good chairperson, that you're a good man. I think you were misinformed at the time. But maybe it is best that just for now you come and sit next to us and allow the rest of us to take this fight forward. Thank you.